Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and I am Anthony, your professional yapper, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a hot minute now. Today we're going to be talking about queer people in the horror genre, however the fuck you pronounce that word, horror genre. So a lot of people in the LGBT community really gravitate to horror movies and the horror genre as a whole. I myself am one of those people, and I think part of the reason for that is because I feel like horror movies have the ability to take real world issues and twist it and make a terrifying story with it. And I feel like a lot of horror movies, old and new, have a lot of like queer undertones and queer characters, which we're going to talk about today. But I feel like out of all the things in terms of like representation, I feel like horror has been the genre that has represented the LGBT community the most. And as somebody in the community, it is the genre that I have felt the most represented by. Without further ado, let's get into this discussion and let's talk about queer people in horror. But first, I'm gonna just kick it off with this iconic clip of Kelly Rowland from one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
What is with the butter knives? You trying to compensate for something? Maybe coming up a little short there between the legs, Mr. Kruger? I mean, you got these teensy-weensy little things.
So the first movie we're going to talk about today is called Sleepaway Camp from 1983. And the reason that it's on here is because it has a lot of trans representation and a lot of trans themes. It's not exactly the best transgender representation, but it's the 80s, so yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. All I can think of when I think about this movie is this fuck-ass clip. Okay, moving on, we're gonna be talking about this non-binary fucker, Glenn/Glenda from Seed of Chucky, and we're just gonna talk about the Chucky franchise as a whole. So yeah. So Glenn and Glenda were introduced in Seed of Chucky, and they are two souls in one body, and they're supposed to be like gender fluid. But I'm sorry, y'all, Seed of Chucky was still so bad, but I'm happy they brought Glenn and Glenda back for the TV show. Alright, let's talk about the TV show, because I feel like this has the most representation out of the entire franchise. Obviously, we have the main two protagonists, which is a gay couple named Jake and Devin. And then we have this infamous clip.
I have a queer kid. You have a kid. Gender fluid. And you're cool with it. I'm not a monster, Jake.
Yas, we stand Chucky, our liberal king. Yas, slay. Not Chucky being a supportive dad, which is low-key kind of ironic considering the rest of the show. But Chucky has really good queer representation. Also, Jennifer Tilly, I forgot to mention her. Mommy is a lesbian or bisexual in the show. Okay, now we're going to talk about Richie and Eddie from the modern versions of It. And it's it's not implied anymore, but it's basically spelled out that Richie has a big crush on Eddie in It Chapter 1, and in It Chapter 2, it's basically confirmed because of the big scene where he gets attacked by Pennywise, and he basically tells him he knows his secret, and then we see clips of Richie being fruity, and then obviously the end of this fucking movie, where the adult version of Eddie dies while they're fighting Pennywise, and then the adult version of Richie carves out their initials like on a bridge or something. Yeah. Gay. Also, I want to say that this was heavily implied in the book, but I've never actually read the It book. But based off like the clips that I've heard about it, like this book sounds fucking insane, and like none of this shit made it to the movie. Like, I want to know what crack Stephen King was smoking when he wrote this book. Okay, the next movies that we're going to talk about is the Fear Street trilogy, and these three movies are probably like some of my favorite horror movies from the modern era, because I am a huge slasher fan and I love slashers, and this was a really good slasher, really good queer representation. the first movie takes place in the 90s, and obviously we have our main two our main two protagonists, which is a lesbian couple named Dina and Sam, who have a happy ending and survive all 3 movies. And then obviously we have the main villain of the story, Sarah Fier, who is somehow connected to Dina. I need to rewatch this, but like all the part 3 stuff. But yeah. But yeah, the Fear Street trilogy is really good sapphic representation for the lesbians. Okay, the next movie we're going to talk about is Jennifer's Body, which neither of the main characters are actually confirmed to be gay, but there's a lot of undertones, and it's very, very heavily implied. Like the scene where Jennifer and Needy literally make out. But obviously this movie has a lot of really feminist themes, and yeah. Next up, we're going to talk about our gay icon, our mother, who threw the first stone at Stonewall. We have the Babadook. I'm sorry, y'all, that was a joke, but this is also a joke. I had to put them on here. Billy and Stu from Scream. Y'all cannot tell me that they were not fucking on the low. Y'all cannot tell me that they were secret gay lovers. Like you cannot tell me this is a straight facial expression. You cannot tell me that this is not a homosexual man. Like, look at them. He's literally cuddled on top of him. Like, but I'm convinced the real plot of Scream was that Billy wanted to kill Sydney so he could be with Stu. Okay, for these last couple movies, or shows, I'm gonna be talking about some less popular and more modern stuff. So yeah. Alright, the next movie I'm gonna be talking about is I Saw the TV Glow, which came out this year and stars Justice Smith. It has a bunch of trans themes and themes about escapism through media, and I think it's a really good movie for the queer community. And I'm not trans, but I am a gay man who grew up in a very religious family, and I am someone who used movies and TV and stuff and media basically to escape as a form of escapism basically. And I related to this movie. Like, I wanted to cry when I first watched this movie. Like, this movie just made me feel so seen, and oh my god. I'm sorry, y'all, this movie is so bad, but I just felt like it deserved its place on the list because of the fucking title. They/them. This movie is basically Friday the 13th, but set in a conversion therapy camp, and Kevin Bacon is here. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I only watched this movie once, and it was so cringe and bad. Like, I tried so hard to like it, like, for the gays, but like, I couldn't. It was so bad. Okay, now for some good modern queer horror media. We're gonna be talking about Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. That's what season 1 was called. Season 2 was called Pretty Little Liars Summer School. But this series has a lot of queer representation. One of the girls in the group, Noah, has a secret girlfriend in season 2. Minnie or Mouse, whatever, has the 2 moms. I ship Tabby and Imogen, but we sadly will never find out if they're canon or not because the show got cancelled. But yeah, this was a really good series. They also had a character who I think is played by a trans man named Ash, and there was just a lot of really good queer representation. It was a really good slasher series. I just really love this show, and I'm so sad that Max canceled it. But yeah, this next movie I feel like also belongs on here because of the impact on queer pop culture. But we're going to be talking about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is a horror comedy slasher film about 7 friends who party and are again together and all end up dying for stupid ass reasons. The main 2 girls are lesbians, and there is like 2 other lesbians in this group. But when I say this movie had an impact on queer pop culture, I am talking about this bitch. When this movie came out, her ass was everywhere, and that one clip where she's like, "You're the murderer, I'm not. I know you're such a bitch. You're such a fucking bitch." I'm sorry, that was cunt. That was so iconic, and the rest of TikTok agrees with me. But overall, this was just a really good movie that I really enjoyed, and it was actually one of my favorite movies of 2022. Next up, we're going to be talking about The Craft Legacy, which is a movie from 2020 and a sequel to the 1996 film The Craft, and it has a lot of queer people in it. It wasn't exactly a good movie, but 14-year-old me, 15-year-old me loved the fuck out of this movie when it first came out. We have a trans witch who was played by Zoe Luna. We have a gay character who was played by Nicholas Galitzine from that other gay movie, Red, White, and Royal Blue or some shit. But no, Quarantine Me loved this movie. I tried to rewatch it for Halloween and I didn't enjoy it as much, but this was a really good movie with a really good message and some good representation. Okay, that was all the movies and TV shows that I mentioned for today. I am probably gonna do a part 2 to this video when it gets closer to Halloween, and I might continue this series, maybe. I really love talking about this topic. This has been something that I've been really wanting to do for a long time, and I'm probably gonna make this multiple parts, like I just said. I feel like there was a bunch of movies, characters, and TV shows that I forgot to mention. I kind of want to do like a queer people in games video. Like I want to do like more videos about queer people because I am a member of the LGBT community. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this, but yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like shove it in anyone's face or anything, but like this is just something that I really love doing, and I really like highlighting my community in these videos. But yeah, I feel like the horror genre has been a safe space for me and for a bunch of other queer people for the past whatever years. Like I really like Scream. The first 2 Scream movies would always be my favorite, and yeah. And on top of that, something I forgot to mention is that a lot of the people that created your favorite horror franchise are gay themselves. We have the creator of Chucky, who was created by a gay man, Scream, created by a gay man, Hellraiser, also created by a gay man. Like, a lot of stuff in this genre and franchises were contributed to by queer people. Anyways, that was the video. Thank you guys for watching. The next video I'm gonna do is a video about the movie Uglies. I'm probably gonna start playing either Until Dawn or Resident Evil 2. I haven't decided which one I'm gonna play yet. I might do like a poll or something. But yeah. And then obviously I'm gonna try finishing Tara's playthrough of Birth by Sleep. I don't know what else to do. I'm still trying to figure out like what else to do for the remainder of spooky season. But other than that, that's all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. This was Anthony, your professional yapper, signing out.